Most men are doing way too much and getting far too little in return. They're so focused on motion that they miss the one move that actually matters. There's a technique that doesn't require strength or speed, just rhythm and precision. And when you get it right, she'll feel everything. I call it the pulse trick. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to use it with your fingers, with your mouth, during penetration, and even without moving at all. And then, I'll show you how to combine them for something she'll remember for the rest of her life. I'm Dr. Emma Blake, and before we dive in, I have a gift for you. I put together a free guide called 20 Best Questions to Ignite Desire and Deepen Intimacy. These are not small talk prompts. They create instant emotional closeness, build tension through conversation alone, and help you understand what she truly wants, without pressure or awkwardness. It is completely free. The link is in the description below. Let's start with a simple truth. If you've ever had a partner seem eager at first, but slowly check out, if her energy shifts halfway through, and you're not sure why, there's a good chance it wasn't about pressure or size or stamina, it was rhythm. Or more accurately, lack of it. The pulse trick works because it keeps stimulation exactly where her body wants it, without interruption. So what is it? It's the opposite of what you see in adult content. It's not fast, wild thrusting or flicking or bouncing. It's a small, consistent, intentional movement that stays focused on the spot that matters. And the reason it works is simple. Her nervous system doesn't want chaos. It wants repeatable patterns. When you pulse in the right place, with the right rhythm, you don't just stimulate her. You give her permission to relax, and that's when real pleasure begins. Now, in just a moment, I'll show you how to use it with your fingers to create constant contact with her G-spot. But don't zone out, because the version I'll teach you after that doesn't even require penetration at all. In fact, it can make her finish using only the muscles in your pelvis. But let's begin with fingers. Most men go in and out. It feels like movement, but it's actually a series of tiny disconnects. You're hitting the right place, and then leaving it, over and over. Instead, you insert 1 or 2 fingers and stay there. You find the G-spot. It's on the front wall of her vagina, just behind the pubic bone. It'll feel slightly textured, almost like a sponge or a soft ridge. Once you find it, you pulse. That means pressing forward gently and rhythmically, without lifting off. It might be 1 pulse every 2 seconds, or 1 every second, depending on her breath, her moans, her body. But you never lose contact. And here's where it gets more advanced. As you go deeper, your palm will press into the entrance of the vagina while your fingertips stay locked on the G-spot from inside. So now she's getting stimulation on the opening and the internal wall at the same time. It feels intense, but also grounded. Safe. Continuous. If she's ever struggled to finish with fingers, this might be the reason. Now in a few seconds, I'll show you how to use your mouth to recreate this same pulse effect with suction and tongue pressure. But before we get there, understand this. The most important part of the pulse trick isn't the angle. It's the rhythm. You are giving her something to follow, something her body can trust. And that's why she relaxes deeper, breathes louder, pulls you closer. All right, let's talk about oral. Most men flick their tongues randomly or change speeds without warning. That can feel confusing for the nervous system, and it interrupts her build. Instead, you want to seal your lips softly around the clitoris, apply gentle suction, and then press your tongue into her with a steady pulse. You don't need to move fast. You don't need to dart around. Stay in one spot and pulse with purpose. 1, 2, 1, 2. And when you find the rhythm her body likes, stay with it. Later in this video, I'll show you how to combine both techniques, oral and internal pulsing, at the same time. But before we get there, just know this. When you keep your tongue in contact and don't break the pattern, she doesn't just feel stimulation, she feels security. and that's what allows her to actually surrender to it. Let's talk about combining them. The combo is where things get interesting. You stimulate her clitoris with your mouth, pulse, 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 while your fingers pulse inside, synced or slightly offset. Some men get overwhelmed trying to match the rhythms perfectly. Don't. Focus on the one that gets the strongest response and let the other support it. If she's grinding into your face, match that with your fingers. If she's clenching around your hand, steady your tongue and let her body lead. Don't overthink it. Presence beats perfection. Every time. Now, penetration. This is where most men go off course. The moment they're inside, they start thrusting. Fast, deep, frantic. And that can feel more invasive than intimate. Instead, try this. Insert only the head of your penis, 1 or 2 inches, and pulse, slowly, rhythmically, just like with fingers, no thrusting, no breaking contact. She'll start to breathe differently. Her hands will change. Her hips might rise toward you. She's not asking for more speed. She's asking for more time in that zone. And when you finally enter fully, stay deep and pulse from your pelvis. Grind, don't pump. Move your base against her clitoris while the shaft stimulates internal nerves. The feeling is fuller, deeper, and steadier. That's what builds craving. Now, if you've ever wanted to learn how to give her this kind of experience without even moving your body, using only your pelvic floor muscles, I'll show you that in just a minute. But first, here's why the deep pulse works. It gives her consistent stimulation on 2 levels at once, internal, external, and her nervous system starts to sync with your rhythm. That's what makes it feel like you're not just inside her body, you're inside her timing. Let's finish with the pelvic floor technique. When you're deep inside her, press your pelvis into hers and flex your pelvic floor. These are the same muscles you'd use to stop yourself from urinating midstream. When you pulse them intentionally, she can feel it from the inside. And if your pubic bone is pressed against her clitoris, she'll feel it on the outside too. You're giving her full body stimulation without even moving. And now, the combination of all of it. This is where the pulse trick goes, from good to unforgettable. You're inside her. You're pulsing with your pelvic floor. Your body is pressed into hers, and your rhythm is synced to her breath, her sounds, her movement. You've removed the chaos. You've replaced it with presence. That's when she lets go. That's when her body trusts you enough to surrender completely. Here's what I want you to remember. It's not about moving more. It's about moving better. And when you give her rhythm, contact, and confidence, her body remembers you. Because the truth is, most men stimulate her. But the ones who pulse with her, they change the way she experiences pleasure, and that's something she won't forget.